What's happening, everyone? Welcome back and thank you for stopping in. Today we have an exciting video to do for you. We are going to be doing another knife battle, blade battle, but this time it's going to be USA versus USA. Before we start the battle, why don't we go over what I had in the old pocket today, starting off with the Jack Wolf knives, low drag, Jack, S90V, jungle wear, fat carbon fiber, very beautiful, amazing knife. I love this thing, and I see some more Jack Wolfs in my life soon. And then we have the Fox Knives Chillin' by Voxnez. Love this little guy. And then I got a ton of other knives laying around here. Got the brand new channel pins. Shout out to Issuing Stitches. He was kind enough to make and send in some buttons for the channel. He also has some designs up on his channel that are new. This one is phenomenal, guys. So well done. I love this thing. The quality is just superb. The microfiber is well done. The prints are phenomenal. I have a link down in the description, and then you can use code GBALL10, all caps. That'll get you 10% off your whole order. So shout out to Bobby for sending that stuff over. Thank you, brother. And it is greatly appreciated, man. So we're going to start out the battle. We have the Benchmade SUPERFREEK, and we have the Spyderco MANIX 2. Now this one is going to be a little different. It's going to be pretty much the same subjects, but I added a couple. So we have materials, price, value, cutting, ergos, sounds, carry, aesthetics, and then action, fidget, and EDC and work. So basically that is going to be the tiebreaker if there is one. So it'll be what is the true better EDC, the better work knife, the better all-around knife. So that will be the tiebreaker, and that is all my opinion. It's all up to debate, and it's just going to be my feelings at this very time. So we'll go ahead and start it off with materials. These are both USA made folders. We'll switch them because that's how I have it on the paper. So kicking things off, we have the USA made Spyderco MANIX 2. This has a satin M390 blade. So well done. So slicey. Spydercos come with some of the best edges on a production knife that you can get, especially coming from America. And then you have this brown G10, very well finished, very well done. The hardware is all very well done. Both these knives are coming in their original form from factory. So this is how you would get these knives from factory. There's no pocket clip add-ons or backspacer add-ons or hardware changes, nothing like that. So these are going to be stock from the factory. This one is going to be a little harder to get, but you have Spyderco's standard pocket clip. You have their compression lock, which is basically it's their, I forget what they call it, but it's a compression lock via these tabs instead of it being on the back of the knife like you see here. Very, very similar, pretty much the same, just using these tabs to disengage it. And then you do have jimping up the back here and on the front, which I like a lot. It really makes this knife very comfortable. And then you have M4 that's been coated. You have this cool G10 pattern. All the hardware, the axis lock is all blacked out. The pocket clip is Benchmade standard pocket clip for the SUPERFREEK. Like I said, you have the axis lock for its locking mechanism. You do have coated or anodized standoffs here and liners, which give it a nice little accent there. So materials, this is going to be a tough one all around, guys, and that's kind of how I wanted it. And this is going to be tough because these knives are very similar. They both have premium materials or similar materials. They have unique locks. Very, very similar in how great they are in their own right. But for the materials, I'm gonna have to go with... I'm going to go with... I'm going to go with the M4 and the Benchmade. The M4 kind of throws it just a nudge over the M390 for me. It's a little tougher of a steel. Well, it's quite a bit tougher. It's going to hold up better to abuse. So, you know, as far as rougher cutting. So, in that sense, we will go ahead and give the Benchmade (1) and 0 for the Spyderco. It'll be a score of 1, with the winner getting 1 point, the loser getting 0. So, next up is going to be price. These come in right now around $252, and as I said, these are a lot harder to get. These are exclusive models, so I've seen DLT with them, I've seen Knife Center with them. Now, they retail for $200, but when I bought this, you could get it for right around $150, and I believe I paid less than the $250 that they're asking now. I think quite a bit less, actually. Well, at least $20 to $30 less. So we'll go with what they say right now, though. So that's going to be $250, and then the retail on these is $200. So that's what we'll go with, is retail. So $250, $200, and I'm going to have to give it to the Spyderco. Getting USA made, M390 steel, Spyderco's heat treat, and their sharpening. You're getting their well finished handles and that awesome compression lock. Getting a good, well made clip. Yes, it's not deep carry, but the point of these is, you know, so you can get it in and out of the pocket easy. So, and the same with the Benchmade. You know, they do that so you can get it in and out of your pocket easy, because there are people out there, believe it or not, who use their knife often. They want to be able to get it out of their pocket, put it back in, and not have a bunch of trouble doing that. And sometimes a deep carry or ultra deep carry can really do that. So next up is going to be value. So because these can be very hard to get sometimes, they haven't been lately, and the value, the secondary, you know, you're going to get back, if it's in great condition, you're going to get pretty much back what you spent on it, without question. You know, if it's in good shape, you know, the blade is in good shape, the scales are in good shape. And now I use this, and I've used it quite a bit, but it just, the coating holds up so good. The scales have held up very well. This thing is broken in beautifully. The Spyderco MANIX 2, being a more exclusive knife, a little harder to get when it comes to the M390 steel. I've seen these going for closer to like the $300 mark for the MANIX 2 and M390. I've seen them between $250 and $300. And even if we go at the max retail for these, which is $200, this one is, you know, valued a little higher than these are. You're going to get more than you paid for these, as long as it's in good condition. We're going off that. And this one is certainly in immaculate condition. This one hasn't gotten a ton of work use. It's been carried a lot, but it has not been put through the ringer at work or anything like that. And there's a reason for that. It's because I wanted this more for an EDC, or, you know, like a nice knife to use, but that can actually get the job done if needed. So they both have their purposes. So we're going to give the value, the slight edge, to the Spyderco MANIX 2 in M390. So that will lead us to a 2-1 for the MANIX 2. Next up is cutting. So I've said it before, I said it in this video, and many other people have said it many other times. Spydercos can come with some of the best edges. Benchmade is hit or miss. It might not be quite fair for the Benchmade. This knife could be a lot sharper from factory. Now, it's sharp, don't get me wrong. If it's cutting this telephone book paper, it's sharp. But this could definitely be sharper from factory. The MANIX 2 is probably going to win this category. It doesn't even feel like you're cutting anything. So well done. So good. The MANIX 2 is definitely going to take the cutting line there. So that will be 3-1 for the MANIX 2. Next up is the Ergos. So, how does this knife feel in hand? The Benchmade, I can tell you both right now, they're both very comfortable. They're both great sizes for a large hand or bigger. They're both going to be very comfortable. Now, you don't have a backspacer on either of them per se. You do have this little bit here where the lock is housed in there. The spine of the knife is not bad on that one. I'm going to have to say boy, that's tough. I might have to give the slightest edge, even though the MANIX 2 has that finger choil. I might have to go with the Benchmade on this one. This is comfortable, but this is just a touch more comfortable in my hand. By the slightest edge, we're going to give it to Benchmade. So that'll be 3-2. Next up is sounds. Now, these are both. This is an axis lock. And this is a compression lock. So they're both not. They're both not going to have the best sounds. Boy, that's tough. I'm going to give it to the Benchmade just by, it has a little more of a thwack when it comes out. So just to Benchmade by a touch, it has that thwack when it comes out. The MANIX 2 does pretty good under that compression lock. Just not quite what the SUPERFREEK does. Just by a touch to the SUPERFREEK. So we're tied up 3-3. Next up is the carry. So how easy in and out of the pocket are they? How much real estate do they take up in the pocket? We'll grab our Issuing Stitches Hank here. How much hangs out of the pocket? How hard are they to get in and out? How much room do they take up? That sort of thing. You're going to have quite a bit sticking out with both knives. And that is for a reason. That's purpose driven there. So we'll go ahead. Man, that's tough. They both are pretty good. Both easy to get in. Both have good retention on the way out. And a nice click when it clears. Carry. The MANIX 2 is a little wider in the pocket. And the SUPERFREEK is a touch longer. Boy. Carry, guys, I'm going to go with the Benchmade. It's a little slimmer. Just by a hair. I'm going to go with Benchmade. I don't want to put too much thought into it. So aesthetics is up next, guys. Benchmade is up 4-3. Now, which one of these looks the best? Which one is the cleanest looking? You know, which one aesthetically appeals to you? Which one appeals to you the most? I can tell you guys right now, I'm kind of partial to the way the SUPERFREEK looks. It's always been one of my favorite looking knives. But the MANIX 2 looks mean as hell. Damn, this is tough. The black blade with that G10 pattern. The red liners. But you got this beautiful satin blade with satin hardware. Satin liners. Oh, that's tough, guys. That is tough. I'm going to go with Man, they both look good. I'm going to go with the SUPERFREEK, though. I'm going to go with the SUPERFREEK. Oh, it's tough. It's tough. So we got 5-3 going for the SUPERFREEK. Uh-oh. Action is up next. So which one opens the best? Which one closes the best? Which one is, you know, the cleanest closing, the smoothest? Neither one of them you're going to have an issue with. Oh man, that's tough. Action. Action. Which one has the best action? The SUPERFREEK fires out better. And it closes a little easier. The MANIX has a nice build up to the flick. It's nice and smooth and clean. Boy, this is tough, guys. I'm going to go with the Spyderco by just the smallest of margins because it's a little smoother, a little more hydraulic, where the Benchmade is a little more loosey-goosey. I mean, it's still smooth and clean and good, but it's a little more loosey-goosey, where the MANIX is a little more controlled, a little more hydraulic. Gonna go with the MANIX 2 and not look back. All right, next up is fidget. Well, that's kind of all in the eye of the beholder. You are going to be able to fidget with the access lock, I think, quite a bit easier. These tabs do not lend themselves to being the most comfortable thing over a period of time. You know, a short period of time. Your thumb and pointer finger may eventually start to get fatigued. Whereas this, it's very easy to disengage it. That's tough, guys. It's going to go to the Benchmade, though. The fidget for the Benchmade for sure. I think it's over no matter what. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the MANIX. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, shit. No, it's not. 5-5. Last category is EDC and work. Which one is the best all-around EDC knife and work knife? If you're asking, we're asking which is the better all-around knife for everyday tasks and for work. We're not asking which one cuts the longest or which one's the sliciest, or we're not asking any of that. We're asking which is the better all-around knife. And we're going to take into consideration the company as well. Is the Benchmade SUPERFREEK better than the Spyderco MANIX 2 for an EDC and a work knife? Or is the MANIX 2 better than the SUPERFREEK? My only qualm about picking this is the M390. Yes, it's a slicing machine of a steel. It's sharpened superbly. it's going to cut forever. But this M4 tool steel, heat treated properly by Benchmade. Benchmade's lifetime warranty. I'm going to have to go with the Benchmade on this one. The M4 is a tougher steel. Yes, it doesn't have quite the edge retention that the M390 does. But where it lacks in the edge retention, it's going to hold up in toughness. And if we're talking about the best EDC blade and the best work knife, you know, whether you work in retail and you're always cutting open boxes and pallet banding and all that stuff, or you're a tradesman like a carpenter or this or that, I just think you can be a little less worried about your knife if you have M4 opposed to the M390. Now, this subject is completely specifically user based. If you aren't going to be running into anything, like you only cut cardboard at work or something of that nature, I could easily see going with this. You know, but if you're cutting into stuff and you might hit a staple, or you might hit something very hard, or you're going to be going into a lot of different materials, I'm going to have to go with the M4, guys. So that'll do it. That'll be the winner there. It'll be 6-5. 6-5. And that'll be the SUPERFREEK for the winner there. So Benchmade jumped off the gun. Then Spyderco took over. Then Benchmade took over with several in a row. Then Spyderco. Oh, I wrote the wrong. I think I was looking at the camera. So right at the very end did Benchmade take it. It looked like Spyderco might finish it off there, and then Benchmade came in with that M4 tool steel at the very end and took it. That was a hell of a battle, guys, and that was a tough one. That I wanted to do one that was going to be hard, where the knives were very similar all the way around. The build quality, American made, using good materials, using similar materials, the G10s. They are both outstanding knives. You couldn't go wrong with either one. And it's going to be user case based. So, you know, that's going to be up to you. And they're both great. So if it comes down to which one you like better, then you go with it. Whichever one you like the looks of better. You know, the coating on the M4 is going to help out with corrosion resistance. So you're not going to have to worry about that a whole lot. M390 is stainless, so you're not going to really have to worry about corrosion on that so much with the satin finish there. They're both going to hold up outstanding. The M4 is just going to hold up a little bit better in the end. But that'll wrap it up, guys. If you hung out through the whole battle, thank you. I love you guys. I appreciate all of you. Hit the thumbs up before you head out. If you're still here and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below. I'd love to have you here. Leave me a comment. Otherwise, guys, I will catch you on the next one.